Well, hi everyone. It's such a pleasure to welcome all of you today. This is our kickoff event for spring 2024 of our Jammy Career Connect series. And our topic this month is Leadership I/O, pursuing a career in leadership development, learning and development, or industrial organizational psychology. My name is Yas Hardaway, and I'm the Executive Director of Career Services at GSEP. And this program is a partnership between our GSEP Career Services and our GSEP Alumni Relations team. For those of you who are new to our events, you may be wondering, what is Jammy? Jammy is a Swahili term for community, and our Jammy Communities of Practice programs are designed to provide you with up-to-date labor market information in the fields of education and psychology, and to help you connect to a broader Pepperdine community. In the fall, we host our Jammy Career Webinar series, which are moderated Q&A panels. And in the spring, we host our Jammy Career Connect sessions, which are interactive breakout sessions and an opportunity for you to have more of an intimate Q&A experience in our breakout rooms. So our learning outcomes, what do we hope you will gain from this program today? We hope that you will gain clarity about the next step in your career planning, that you will gain confidence in your ability to successfully move toward your career objective, and we'll hope that you connect to working professionals from the Pepperdine community. At GSEP Career Services, our vision is that every graduate would have the clarity, confidence, and community to be able to access, thrive in, and transform the future workplace. The session is being recorded today, but only the introductions. The breakout rooms will not be recorded. And live transcription is provided, so I encourage you to take advantage of that if you would like to. I also want to point out that we have a participant drive, and in our drive you will find our speaker lineup, so bios on all the speakers that will be presenting today, as well as the recording of our speaker introductions. Once our session is complete, we'll add the recording in there as well. You'll also notice that we have our previous Jammy Career Connect folders in there so that you can access previous recordings and see what those topics are. Okay, so what's the format for today? I will introduce our moderator, and who will then introduce all of our speakers, and we'll have an opportunity to hear from each of our speakers so that you can learn briefly about their background. And then we'll invite you to choose your own adventure, and you can pick which breakout room to go into based on your own aspirations and speak to the panelist who is in that breakout room. We'll have a facilitator in there to get the conversation going and provide you with sample questions in case that's helpful. Then after about 15 minutes, I'll encourage you to change breakout rooms so that you can hear from another speaker and learn a different perspective. After our second breakout room, we'll all come back together to the main room, and we'll share some resources that will hopefully be relevant for you as you continue on your career journey. And then we'll talk about what's ahead for next month's Jammy Career Connect series. So without further ado, I would like to introduce my colleague, Dr. Renee Dorn, the Director of Alumni Relations. Dr. Dorn?
Thank you so much, Yaz, and welcome everyone to our Jammy Career Connect session. We're always so happy to have all of our Pepperdine students and alumni and faculty and staff members join us for these events. And it is always my pleasure to introduce the speakers for the day. So I'm just going to go through the lineup as it was shown on the slide. So our first speaker that I'd like to introduce is one of our GSEP alums. Her name is Andrea Quimby. So welcome, Andrea. Thank you for joining us today.
Hi, so good to be here. I am a graduate of the Organizational Leadership and Learning program, and I work for Kellanova, so some of your favorite snacks, Pringles, Cheez-Its, Eggos, those are Pop-Tarts, cannot forget Pop-Tarts. So those are some of the iconic brands that Kellanova produces, and I'm so proud to be working in learning and development at that company. So thank you.
Thank you, Andrea. Before I I introduce the next speaker, tell us what program you graduated from.
Sure. It's Organizational Leadership and Learning, the master's program.
All right. So if you are very interested to hear more about Andrea and her story and information about her background and how she got to where she is, don't forget to click on her and join her breakout group. So thank you so much, Andrea. And now we're going to our next speaker, who is one of our adjunct professors in psychology. It is Dr. Vaughn Simmons. So welcome, Simmons.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. Tell us a little bit about your background and where you got to where you are talking about being a life coach, certified life coach, and a facilitator and consultant.
Yeah, so my background is it's a little colorful. I began my career in human resources, so I've done everything from recruiting, training and development or learning and development, employee relations, all facets of human resources. And then later in my career, I decided that I wanted to coach. I wanted to have more of that one-on-one experience with helping people make transformations in their lives. So I began coaching, which eventually led me to wanting to teach. So I got my doctorate in order to be able to teach. And I'm now an adjunct professor here at Pepperdine. I'm also coaching and consulting. I facilitate global webinars, and I'm also still a life coach. And I practice a lot of mindfulness and positive psychology as well.
Wonderful. Thank you, Dr. Simmons. So if you are interested in hearing more about Dr. Simmons' stories, or you have any questions for Dr. Simmons, please join her breakout group. All right. Thank you, Dr. Simmons.
Thank you.
And then next, we have Dr. Shawnetta Weatherspoon. She is another GSEP alum from our EDOL program. So welcome, Dr. Weatherspoon. Tell us a little bit about what you do and how we can learn a little bit more about your businesses as well.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for having me. I wear many hats. My day job, I work for Pepperdine. I'm a graduate, an alum of Pepperdine, as Dr. Dorn mentioned, the EDOL program, 2013. Wow. I say that and I can't believe it was that long ago. We were just in the trenches with this dissertation. So you will get through it, those of you who are still in the program, students that's still doing that. I also own and manage a consulting firm where I do organizational development and leadership, R&W Leadership Services. I'm an author, including children books that is all about building leaders. So our motto with our children books, our series is building leaders through reading. I also published a productivity management tool called Your Next Start Today Approach. I'll put the link in the chat. It's just a productivity management tool, so we help us get things done. You know, that's what we do in OD to make sure that organizations are performing well. And it's all about productivity. And so we start at the individual level and move up right to the organizational level. And so that's what I do. Try to get at least 6 to 12 contracts a year. Outside of my day-to-day 9 to 5, I subcontract many of those contracts. So I do a lot of that, and it's fun work. I love the research and development. I love data collection. I love change management. I love leadership coaching, executive coaching. Usually when there's an executive coaching gig, I probably do it myself because that's fun for me. And so that's me. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Weatherspoon. So if you are interested in hearing more about what Dr. Weatherspoon does and how she got involved in organizational development, please join her breakout group. All right. Thank you. So our next speaker is Dr. Dan Hyen, and he is the adjunct professor in psychology at GSEP, but he is also an IO psychologist and business mentor and executive coach. So he wears a lot of hats as well. So welcome, Dr. Hyen. Thank you for being here with us.
Glad to be here and looking forward to spending some time with you. I started as an engineer and got my business degree. I'm an entrepreneur at heart. Later in my career, I went back to school and got my PhD in IO psychology. And I currently serve as a senior advisor for a organizational psychology consulting firm. Both in terms of consulting, but also I conduct a lot of research within the organization. So I do a lot of employee assessments, develop assessment tools. We're actually currently conducting another research right now. So that aligns really well with what I teach at school, research methodology, as well as helping team members and working with the employees on their skill set development as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, if you are interested in hearing more about Dr. Hyan and what he does, please join his breakout room. Thank you, Dr. Hyan.
Thank you.
And then our last speaker, last but not least, we have Dr. Linares, and he is also a GSEP alum from our PhD in Global Leadership program. So welcome, Dr. Linares.
Thank you, Dr. Dorn. Hello, everyone. I see some familiar names that have joined. I am happy as punch to be here, just among this distinguished group of professionals and academics and scholars. I first thought I'm in the wrong place, but thanks for letting me in. My background stems from wearing several hats as a banker to being in director level positions with the Small Business Development Center, the SBA, been an adjunct instructor for well over a decade, and been in change management, leadership consultant, and now I'm the director of organizational development for one of the top telecom companies in the Intermountain, that's Liberty Electric. And so we build cell towers, and that's what we do. And you would never think that, you know, organizational development, telecom, what? It's fascinating, and what we're doing is absolutely incredible. So super, super excited to be here if you can't tell. And that's not just the caffeine. I'm usually like this.
Well, I thank you, Dr. Linares, for being with us, and so excited to hear about your information and your background. So if there's anyone else who wants to hear more from Dr. Linares, please join his breakout room. And as I went through each one of the speakers and you learned a little bit about each one, if there is more than one interested in hearing more about, there you have an opportunity to switch breakout rooms during this time so that you can meet different alums and different professors and get a little bit of information about what each one of them do. So at this time, I'm going to pass it on to Yaz so we can get ready for the breakout rooms. So thank you, Yaz.
Great. Thank you so much, Dr. Dorn. All right, so breakout rooms are open, and you can see that each room is assigned a different one of our speakers. Franya has also put our speaker lineup in the chat, so you can see the bios of each of our speakers, and encourage you to pop into the room so that you can have a conversation with the speaker that you'd like to learn more from. And in about 15 minutes, we'll invite you to switch rooms. If you are having trouble joining a room, you can just let us know which room to put you in, and we can send you in that room. Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. I heard some great conversations in there, and I know it was just a taste, right? But hopefully got you thinking a little bit about the field and about some ways that you can get started if you're thinking about making the transition, or maybe some tips to help you think about what could be next. So I just wanted to thank our speakers for taking the time to be here today. They volunteered their time to share their stories, their expertise, their wisdom, and it makes such a difference when we're thinking about planning our career and what's next, to be able to have advocates, to have those that will support us and provide us with information to make that shift, to move forward in our journey. So thank you so much for being here today. I'd like to pass it over to my colleague, Katrina. So Katrina Blanchard, she's one of our enrollment officers. I'm going to spotlight her right now for everyone. And I know that we have prospective students who are thinking about GSEP here today. So Katrina, can you share a little bit more about yourself and how they can learn more about our programs?
Absolutely. So my name is Katrina, and like Yas said, I'm an enrollment officer here at Pepperdine. So I help prospective students, anyone who's interested in our programs, and we do have an entire suite of programs both in education and psychology. And we also host a lot of leadership programs. So many of you are from our leadership programs, leadership in higher education or organizational leadership program. And we're often asked why our leadership programs are housed with the School of Education as opposed to maybe the business school. And what I always say is that leadership is education. You are teaching people by leading them. You're teaching them best practices, you're helping them learn by your example. So you are enriching them with the knowledge to move forward, and that's part of being a leader. So, here at the School of Education, we are really excited to create new leaders. And if you, again, have any questions, I would be more than happy to assist you. I know they put my contact information in there, so feel free to call me, email me. I'd be happy to set something up. So we look forward to all of you potential students, hopefully welcoming you in the fall.
Thank you, Katrina. And so I'm gonna put up here your image. Anyone wants to take a screenshot, remember this friendly face is on the other side waiting for you and ready to answer any questions you might have. Thank you for being here. As part of our working career services, we want to support you in your job search process and make sure that you have access to the latest tools to help you be able to apply for jobs effectively and efficiently. So I'd now like to turn it over to our partner, Danny Leonard, who's going to talk about a new partnership we have with Ramped. And Ramped is an AI-powered resource to help you with all aspects of your career exploration and job search process. And I can't speak more highly of this resource. I want everyone to try it. It's free. Danny, I'll turn it over to you.
All right. Well, good to see you all. Good to meet some of you as well. I'm Danny, one of the founders of Ramped. And what Ramped is, and the company we have built over the last 4 years, is a platform to help job seekers, both in their current searches and when they are approaching their search or anytime within their career. The reason that we started the company specifically is because the job search is still super broken. It's not equitable. It is run almost the exact same way that it ran for our parents, for their parents, and that is draw up a resume, spray and pray, send your resume to as many businesses as you possibly can, get rejected, or don't hear back from the majority of those companies, and ultimately you are left with a bunch of feelings, none of which are very positive, right? It hurts, it's painful. When you think of a job search, you're not excited about it. So we are trying to bring the fun and excitement back to the job search, or to the job search, and we're out to make it really, really easy for job seekers. So I'm going to share my screen really quickly and walk through a few of our tools. And then, yes, like Yas said, it is free to use. It's free to sign up. So we encourage you all to use it and use it aggressively in your search. So we've built this AI platform. You will see a bunch of micro applications here, from building your resume. So you can do this kind of in real time. I'll give you like a really, really quick demo, but you can type and just generally type like the fields. We put it in the format that is best suited for applicant tracking systems today. That's the system that a company uses to take in your resume. And we also use AI to help generate bullet points for you. So as you're working through, you fill out information based on where you are in your search, where you are professionally, and where you're going. So if you want a role at, let's say, a high school as a high school principal, you would have already told us that. And we can start to suggest different ways for you, this is dummy data, different ways for you to offer up a summary for your resume. Other things that we do on the tool side is we have a cover letter writer. So when you're working through your job applications, typically you would have to spend about 20 to 30 minutes customizing a cover letter. And from what we've heard, we've met with thousands and thousands of hiring managers and talent acquisition folks, is they don't read them. 75% of people are not reading cover letter. That's an ultimate check the box for us. So what we've done is we've shrunk this down. We allow you to just paste in a few pieces of information, and we spit out a custom cover letter so you can skip that part in the process. We also have a ton of really cool tools that are coming out really soon, premium tools, and that is one of them I will show off right now. But we have a Chrome extension which fills out a job application for you in real time. So you've already given us some information about yourself, and you will simply go and click the Ramped autofill button through our Chrome extension. And what this will do is it will fill out the job application for you, both with known fields. And then when we don't know something, if you have given us some information, we will prompt an AI generated answer to questions like, why do you want to work at this company? Or tell me a little bit more about yourself. So stuff you're answering over and over and over again that are kind of check the box for employers. And now in real time, we're allowing you to do this, saving you hours throughout your job search. That's not all we do. We have tons of other offerings. So we have a suite of really cool resources on the job search, kind of the why, right? Like, why are you here? Why is your job search taking you so much time, and how to separate from a mentality standpoint who you are as a person and all the exceptional things that you are doing from the rejection that you're going to get in this job search, because everybody's going to get rejected a lot. And a lot of us, at least it was for me when I started my first job search and subsequent job searches, I wasn't used to all that rejection, right? Like I thought, hey, I did well in school. I'm on to the next thing. I'm not used to just getting told no over and over and over again. So kind of separating you as a human and your skills, your experiences, and ultimately your potential and your attitude from your actual job search. So we're here to help. You can reach out to me anytime, Danny at Ramp Careers, but I encourage you to check out our tool suite and jump in and get to know the tools, save yourself some time in your job search, and ultimately fix the job search for yourself as well.
Thanks so much, Danny. And I'm going to ask Franya if you can put that link in the chat again. I really encourage you to check it out. Log in, it's free, and you can explore different career options. You can, as Danny said, use the resume builder. It can create your resume summary at the top, bullet points, write a cover letter. And I was recently working with a student who was applying for an associate position for her for a therapist position, and she put in the position, and it gave her a roadmap for the interview. It gave her questions that was going to be asked. It gave her sample responses. It gave her the reason behind those questions. And she actually reported that it was very similar to the interview that she had. So I just really encourage you to take advantage of this tool. Just try it out and see what you think. So I'd now like to turn it over to my colleague, Usman Khan, who's going to talk more about our commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion and resources that he has found that's specifically related to our topic today. Usman?
Thank you, Yas. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Usman here from Career Services. So as part of our commitment to diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging, our vision here is that every GSEP graduate will have the clarity, confidence, and community to access, thrive in, and transform the future workplace. And as part of our DEIB efforts, we're committed here to ensuring all of you, including students and alumni, have access to our resources and services from an equitable lens, and to foster a sense of community and belonging for each of you while being able to honor each of your diverse identities and backgrounds. And I'm happy to share more resources in reference to the current state of DEIB work and initiatives in 2024. So a lot of these 4 articles we're sharing essentially highlight different trends that are going to be focused on and also expanded within this year. And so some of them are like involving remote workforce, being able to navigate a multi-generational workforce, as well as eliminating unconscious bias. And there's a lot more being able to support mental health for employees, being able to support social justice, being able to focus on shift more towards belonging as well as DEI, and also being able to consider aspects of intersectionality. And so I encourage you all to look into this yourself and read these insights and trends. And I'm happy to discuss more if anyone wants to discuss more about these. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Usman. And Usman's also one of our career design counselors. So for those of you who were in the breakout rooms today thinking about how do I go about making a career transition, how do I position myself for advancement, we encourage you to make an appointment with one of our career services team members. You can make a career design session, and we'll help you clarify your next step and come up with an action plan. And so, Franya, I'll ask you to put the link to Handshake in the chat. You can log into your Handshake account and click on Career Center and then Appointments to schedule a career design session. Okay. So I'd like to hear from you on how the session was today, that our topics are generated from all of you. And so it's really helpful for us to get a sense of how the format was, what today's topic was like for you, the speakers, so that we can continue to improve and enhance our programming. For those that do complete the survey on Handshake, you'll be entered into an opportunity drawing for Amazon. So the Handshake survey is for those who are students, and alumni who are registered on Handshake would have access to the survey. Okay, so what's next for the following month? So our second Career Connect session is called To Doctor It or Not to It, and When to Go for It. So To Doctor It or Not to It was a Career Connect session we had last term, and it was so popular that we are bringing it back, but adding a little spin to it. So if you were sitting in the breakout rooms wondering, should I get a doctorate? Should I not? What are the different options? If you are a psychology student and you're wondering, should I get a PsyD or a PhD, or a doctoral student wondering if you should get an ED or a PhD, these are all important questions, and they involve time and commitment. And so it's important to make an informed decision. So come listen to this session next month. Similar format, you'll get to go into breakout rooms of your choice and hear from our different speakers about their journey, so that it can help you inform your own. I also want to encourage you to follow us on social media, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and our specifically our LinkedIn alumni group for GSEP. That social media is a great way to also network. You can follow thought leaders in the field. You can follow other students and alumni who are talking about what it is that you like to talk about, professional topics that are important to you. And this is how you also build your network. It's an opportunity for you to connect to our Pepperdine community and not only be up to date on what's happening in the field and the discussions that are happening within education and psychology, but to be able to then follow up personally to schedule a career conversation, and be able to expand your network. So we are at time. So thank you so much for coming today. Again, thank you to our speakers for volunteering your time, and the rest of you for taking the initiative in your own career planning, to be here and to learn a little bit more to inform your next step. So we hope to see you next month. Before you sign off, I'm going to invite you, if you're comfortable, on the count of 3, to pick an emoji so we can take a screenshot for today. So pick an emoji on how you feel on the count of 3. You ready? Okay. 1, 2, 3. If you didn't, that's okay too. Thank you all for being here. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you next month.